Getting me in trouble.
Anyway, I don't think, because, you're so, obviously, you talk about sex a lot, you obviously enjoy sex, but then you've also said that, that you really didn't see your parents be intimate with each other a lot, So it's like, how did you even learn about sex? How did you learn that that was something that you would like, or that was something to do, or to try, or to, how did you learn to enjoy it?
I can't tell you the first way I learned about it. It was awful. At least I thought it was. It wasn't anything like it wasn't bad in that way. I'm using the word. I didn't know what I was watching when I first saw it. No, I didn't say that.
Your first time you saw somebody have sex.
Yes.
So you oversaw someone.
Yes, I did.
I saw in public sex.
And I couldn't figure out what the hell this was. And so I discussed it with a family member, and that's when they told me really about it. I had missed all my classes. Sex education. Yeah, I'm thank you.
Is this when you walked in on your parents or something?
No, I'm good, thank you. And I know everybody's probably, or most people have experienced that, but my brother spent a lot of time on the road, and I could not wait for them to come back, because I had so many questions. I couldn't figure, and the horrible thing about it is I should have known about it way before then.
Because you're like 13 or something, right?
Yeah, like 12, 11, something like that.
Who did you ask? Who told you about sex?
My brother Mike and I were very close at that time, so he's the one that kind of told me. Like I said, because of working, I didn't get those classes. I missed those classes, and I had a friend, a friend that would bring over books. That's a few years older than me. Would bring over these books. Sex books. Don't ask me where she got them. I have no clue. But we've been friends for years. She's still my friend. She's the one in the nasty video with the braids.
Okay. Well, you and Michael must have made an odd pair talking about sex, because he's written and talked so much about how he always felt weird, watching. Your brothers were so much older when they were on tour, that he would see them kind of get together with the groupies or something like that, and he didn't really know what's going on. So I think the two of you all must have been a mess.
Well, he's teaching me. Now don't forget, he's very young at this point too in his life. So he's teaching me whatever it is that he knows about it. His little sister's asking, he's trying to help her out.
Right.
I've always been very affectionate, though. And see, it's more than, I hate calling it sex to a certain degree, because it's more of a love thing for me.
Okay.
It's I love passion. Ever since I was younger, I remember I loved seeing people kiss on television. I loved seeing all that stuff. My mother told me that out of all the kids, I was the only one that would constantly say I love you to everybody and just kiss on them. So I've always been that kind of a kid. And I don't think I've ever really changed. It's just not everybody.
No, I'm just wondering, I just can't, can you imagine because you're saying, you would have, these conversations with Michael about sex, can you imagine any circumstance if you'd have, an in-depth conversation about sex with him now? Would that ever come up?
No, No. I think he'd be too embarrassed.
Yeah, because it would be so weird. Older.
Yeah, I think he'd really be embarrassed. I really do. But it was just one conversation we had. We never had it again.
Well, I think, has your family kind of finally made peace with the sexuality that you put out there and the... Because I know at one point your mother had asked you not to be as...
I know. I don't know. I think they just said, you know what? Just let her go. God help her. No, I think they've just come to realize that this is who I am. And I'm not going to change unless I want to, and I'm happy with who I am. And I wouldn't try and change them if it's something that they're not harming anybody and they're...
What's your best wish for your mother? What's the best
wish for my mother? I just want her to have happiness. Just happiness and to enjoy life. Stress-free.
Okay. Is she stressed out a lot?
I don't have kids,
Okay.
but having 9 kids and being under scrutiny a lot and reading things all the time, I can't imagine it not stressing her out. And I can't, she's been through a lot. She's been, you know, every time someone sees a family member go through something, they have to understand we all go through it as a family. It hurts all of us, and especially my parents, and especially my mother.
Right.
And she's been through a lot, and she's a very strong woman. So I just want her to have bliss. And she's good right now.
Great.
She's very good right now.
That's great. How do you decide? Because I mean, you know, you're obviously doing very well, and you know, and I think a lot of people relate to this. There's like a couple of people in every family that do really well, and obviously not everybody can be doing as well. You know what I mean? I was wondering, like, how do you decide, like, if somebody's going through a problem, like when to help them out, maybe whether it's financially or whatever, or when to just say, you know, this person needs to learn this lesson on their own. Like, how do you decide that, you know, when dealing with family members and those kind of demands and everything? Is that a deep question?
No, it's not a deep question. I'm just trying to figure out the last one. I'll always be there for my family, and I know they'll always be there for me. And we communicate. We talk. I've never felt that it's ever come to that point.
Oh, really? Okay. So you don't find yourself having to make hard decisions, or you know?
Maybe a couple of times,
Sure.
but that's where the communication comes in, and respect, and then respecting whatever your decision is that you've made.
Okay.
And understanding too, because you know, I've seen even with friendships fall apart because of certain situations, but it shouldn't be about that. It goes, the love goes beyond that.
One time you talked about having a fear of going broke. Do you still have a fear of going broke?
No.
Did your family used to talk about like the hard times and stuff?
It's not a fear. I mean, it's not a fear the way that used to be. It's something that still, because it happened a lot in this industry with people in this industry. But it's not something that I think about the way I used to think about.
Some of your first brushes were on Barry Manilow and Teddy Pendergrass. What was that all about?
I hate you for doing your research.
I'm a PhD.
What do you mean, what was that about? I was like 7 years old.
What did you find attractive about Barry Manilow?
I have no clue. I don't know. I just remember that I used to kiss the screen when I saw him on TV. Now with Teddy Pendergrass, whole different story.
Okay, so what was that about?
It was about everything. And he
Do the deed?
what?
I said you wanted to do the deed.
He was very much so in love with my sister.
Really?
Yeah, now I'm telling her drama. I'm just spilling her. I shouldn't be talking about other people because this is about me, but he liked my sister very much.
And you kind of liked him.
It just happened out of, it's just, I never, I would see him once in a while.
Okay.
Once in a while. I wouldn't see him all the time or anything like that. I
So
would
what would you think when he was like? Would you be trying to talk
Nothing.
to him?
I'm a baby. I'm a little baby. I'm a kid. But you know what? The weird thing about it is, it's like I really had a major crush. That was serious though. That was like a deep thing with Teddy Pendergrass for me as a kid. I mean, even though it's still light.
What did it feel like? Like what was so deep?
I never saw myself as when I thought about him, I never saw myself as a kid. I saw myself as an adult.
So, and what were the two of you all doing?
Having a good time. We were having a good time. Come on. We were doing adult things. I still was very young and very innocent. And it was very innocent still. That's not innocent. No, but I'm asking you a question. I know I'm asking. No, I'm serious. That's right. That is innocent, isn't it?
I mean, I could have sex. I think sex comes from the purest place of all, and you could be doing the craziest things.
Well, but still. Sex is innocent?
I think so. I think if sex is coming from the purest place, I think it's innocent because I think ultimately sex is about connection, and I don't think there's any more honest or human emotion than wanting to connect with another person. Yeah. Sometimes that means many things. Anyway. What?
You're a mess.
Let's talk about some rumors. That's just clear some stuff out. What?
That's
am I clenched up?
No, you're a mess.
I'll just anyway. Did you ever go on a date with Bob Brown?
No. On a date? No.
Did he ask you out? Did you hang out with him? Was he trying to get with you? You can check out. Yeah, you can check out.
I thought you were going to ask me one question and move on. I knew that he had liked me. He had mentioned it on a couple of shows. We never went out.
Did he ask you out and you said no?
I'm really trying to remember.
Well, you know you ain't go, so that means something.
I know. I'm just trying to remember if he ever asked me, though. I don't remember him asking me, but I can't say that he didn't.
I know the last time we talked, like, one of the things that they made me ask you was just about all the baby stuff. I was really surprised when that resurfaced, because I thought that was really old. Like, how did you feel when that came back up?
I just felt it was someone trying to get attention. What bothered me about it, more so than anything, because they were involving my niece, and I just look at, if it's something between you and I, then it's between you and I. Don't bring someone else into this and bring someone else's name into this, and I'm just thankful that she's a strong girl, or woman, I should say.
Oh, because they're actually, because Ruby does actually have a daughter that's around the same age.
No, see I think they were saying it's my brother Jackie's daughter.
Oh, okay.
But see, the thing about it is, my brother Jackie's daughter, and this is probably what made them think, a few times they thought I had a child. I remember when I was at the MTV Awards, and I had a little boy sitting in my lap before I went to present an award, but it was a friend's son.
Okay.
So they said, oh, that must be her little boy. And he's an adult now, but the thing with my niece is, a couple of times, like when I did the Let's Wait a While video, she came and visited me, and she was with me during that time. So a couple of times,
Is she the one on the Dream Street album? girl that dressed alike? Don't act like you don't know your own.
I swear to you, I do
In
not.
the Green 3 album, if you pull it out, there's a picture of you. You're dressed in like black, and you're sitting. There's a little girl sitting with you.
Oh my God.
You need to get a copy of your album.
I do not know the photograph. Is her hair curly?
Your hair is exactly the same. Your hair is like straight, and her hair, and you all are dressed identically. You're both wearing like black tuxedo jackets. Go to Tower Records and buy
Oh my God, this is awful. I don't even remember the picture.
Because there's two pictures. There's a picture like you're in like this pink sweater or some kind of something. And then on the other side there's a picture of you with the little girl. And I just thought of it when you said you know.
I don't remember the photograph, but I did take a photograph with her. Kenny Rogers took a photograph of us.
Okay.
She and I together. That's why I was thinking, wait a minute, did we do one in a black thing? But that was way past that, because that was toward Control and all that.
Get a copy of your album on.
I really do need to.
I used to love that album when I was a teenager.
You did?
Yeah, I loved Dream Street. I loved It Takes All Night. I loved, what were the Jesse Johnson songs? Like,
Oh,
I love that.
and Fast Girls,
Fast Girls, yeah.
I liked.
The remixes.
Yeah, I like that too.
I like Don't Stand Another Chance. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I liked that too.
So I guess back then, didn't
No, I know who you're talking about. That's my niece Autumn. That's Jermaine's daughter.
Oh, okay.
With the tuxedo. That's Jermaine's daughter.
Thank God, I was worried about you.
Okay.
So you never said this about Bobby Brown. He just turns me on. I love his butt.
No, I've never said
I
that.
know the quote somewhere.
Where?
Somewhere that I came across.
No, I've never said that.
What else interesting? Okay, because I'd asked you one of these questions about like advice you give to people.
Yes.
Says the girl deciding to sleep with the guy for the first time. What would you say to somebody about recovering from like an embarrassing situation? What would you say? Giving it.
Oh God. Recovering from an embarrassing situation, you can't let it get you down. You have to keep your head up and keep moving. I guess I could say more depending upon the situation. Everything happens for a reason, and there's a reason for it happening, and you just have to keep a positive head.
I don't like any of these other ones.
These are questions that you wrote?
What?
No, I'm just asking.
Do you think I was a stenographer or something?
No, I don't.
These other ones you answer.
Let me just read one of your two Nancy ones, no, because I want to see where your head's at.
My head. You can't outthink me.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm not even trying to. I just want. I'm sure I can't.
Either I ask it or you don't get to see it. What things about your life make you feel most grateful? And I think I pretty much know the answer to that now.
Because it would be Jermaine. Is that what you're doing?
I
saying?
think, but I didn't say I know.
What is the thing that about my life that makes me feel most
Things you can make it plural.
most grateful? It would be Jermaine. No, honestly, it would be, and I tell him all the time. I thank God for him.
What is your best wish for Jermaine?
That he's happy, and that he.
Not happy now.
No, I don't think that he's not happy now, but that he just gets everything in life that he wants because he deserves it, and that he's happy. I wish for all those who I love to be happy and obviously have their health, but
You have to go.
do I need it?
No, I was going to ask you when you go. You were the one who started the breath thing.
Hold on 1 second. You might want to pause this.
Okay. Sarah could have listened to it. But, what's your best wish for Janet?
to remain, to be in this space and beyond. If it goes, if there's something that's beyond this.
Is there or not?
What?
Is there or not?
I don't know. I really don't.
You obviously think there is. I mean, it seems like you think there is.
I don't know. I mean, I guess only God would be able to tell me that. So if there is, then for it to come my way, our way, and if this is it, I just want this to stay because I'm very blessed with this. Very. It's. I feel like I keep repeating myself, but.
That's what fast forward
But it is. People say that they just see. They would see my eyes in the past, and they'd see something different, and they see it now. It's completely different, and that's the way that I feel. I'm happy.
You said she seems sad the last time I talked to you. Not that she's sitting there sad, but
no, people say that. That's what I'm talking about. People always talk about this regardless of me smiling, there's an underlying sadness. And it's not there now.
Talk a little bit about control stuff since this 20th anniversary. Like, how does your understanding of just the concept of control change over the last 20 years? And what it means to be in control? You know what I mean?
I mean, you have control to a certain degree. You can do all that you possibly can for a situation. And it's really, it's in God's hands. Let me say that. I should re-say that. There's only so much that you can do for whatever it is. And that's the control that you have. And the decisions that you have to make. It's in God's hands, and He's the one with all the control.
When in your life have you felt most in control? Yeah, no, I know. I had it before.
I would say now, in my life.
When did you feel the most out of control?
I would say, which I can't talk about it, but I would say going through a period of thank you. Through the period of my divorce and the whole breakup and all of that.
What advice would you give Janet, who's just about to go to Minneapolis to make control? What would you tell her about that, or just about what she's going to experience throughout her career, what's going to happen to her?
I would tell her to enjoy every single moment. Not to take things so literal.
Did Michael used to tell you that?
About enjoying every moment. And it's all going to be okay. Life's going to be okay.
So I hope you enjoyed the interview. Now I just wanted to just reflect a little bit about what was going on at the time a little bit more. And just to give you some context of how the interview came about and everything like that. It was a typical big celebrity interview, which by I mean that it was rescheduled, a zillion times. At one point I was supposed to eat breakfast with her at the Trump Hotel in New York. Then it got moved to Miami. So there was just a bunch of stuff. But basically how the Miami thing went down, well, actually first, about a week before the Miami interview took place, Virgin, which was her record company at the time, flew me to Atlanta so that Jermaine Dupri could play me the album because they weren't letting copies of the album out anywhere. He was the only person with a copy of it, so he had to physically play it for me. So I went to his studio, Southside Studios. And it was kind of funny because at one time he was playing one song, and I guess he was trying to set the context of how, sexy she was sounding and stuff. So he put this picture of her in a bikini in front of me, and he was like, man, when you hear this song, I just want you to look at this picture. I just want you to stare at this picture. And the whole time I'm thinking, gee, I guess he doesn't know that I'm gay, because really this picture, I like the song and all, but this picture really isn't doing anything for me. So it was just awkward. I had to sit there for like 4 minutes and stare at this picture of her in bikini, and he was like staring at me, staring at the picture. It was just very awkward, but that's pretty much the most memorable thing from the listening session. But anyway, for the Miami interview, I flew into Miami on a Friday, and that night I met her at a club, one of the big South Beach clubs, and it was basically, I wasn't really talking to her that much. It was basically just, she was kind of hanging out with all of her dancers, the dancers that she had hired for the promo tour and stuff. And so it was just kind of like time to watch her with her dancers and stuff. But to be honest, it got boring after a while, and I just, said later, and I went to, a gay club there and had a really nice time. But anyway, so the next day is when the interview took place, when I was flying back with her from Miami to New York. So that was kind of the context of that. And the questions that people typically ask me about the interview, people always want to know what she was wearing. And she was very low-key. I think she had a sweater on, which she later took off because it got kind of hot on the plane. But she had a sweater on, and then she was just wearing a graphic tee, that were kind of big in 2006. I actually don't even remember what it said or if it had any significant. I know it didn't say anything. It was just like one of those graphic tees. And then she was wearing a pair of True Religions, which of course, because it was 2006 and that's what people still wore them then. And it was funny because I immediately, when I got back I was living in Providence at the time, Providence, Rhode Island. And when I got back to Providence, I immediately went to Nordstrom's and bought myself a pair. So anyway, that I guess was the True Religion heyday. And at one point, you might hear her requesting things of the flight attendant. The flight attendant prepared just a regular kind of, I think it was like an arugula salad for her with some lemon and olive oil, and that's when she asked for a lot of pepper. So you might have heard that in the interview. That's what that was all about. And honestly, the most memorable thing about the entire interview is what I'm about to tell you now. And I've only really ever told this story to a couple of friends, but this was the most memorable thing. And this was also the reason why that I think that Janet is pretty cool and classy. Because, so we're talking over a table and everything like that. And as you've heard, I mean, the interview went on for hours, and I'm probably talking more than she is. And as you're talking, your mouth can get kind of dry and anyway, and stuff, So anyway, so I'm talking, I asked a question, and it's like my mouth was really dry, and like I could feel like this, like a little piece of spit coming out of my mouth. And then, it kind of like flew across the table and landed on the table. And it was like it was in slow motion, and I just wanted to go like, no, as I watched the spit fly across the table. And it's like, she saw it, I saw it, but it was one of those awkward things. And you really didn't want to acknowledge it. So, a couple of seconds passed, and, at some point she had a napkin that, the napkin that she was using when she was eating. She wasn't eating at the time. I didn't spit on her food. That would have been really, really gross. But anyway, she still had the napkin there. So at one point, just while she was talking casually, she just dropped the napkin on top of the, spit, and then just kind of wiped it off very subtly and just balled up the napkin and threw it away. So I thought that was a really classy way to deal with the situation. Of course, I was still mortified, but it was just one of those things. And that's, again, the most memorable incident from the entire interview. That's the thing that really stays with me. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the interview, and thanks for listening and for signing up to my mailing list. I'll let you know about new projects that I have and when I put out other interviews. And be sure to check out my memoir, All I Could Bear, and you can find out the whole story about how I became a celebrity interviewer and the other celebrities I've interviewed and stuff like that. So again, thank you very much. Take care.
Get me in trouble.
Anyway, because you're so obviously you know, you talk about sex a lot, you obviously enjoy sex, but then you've also said that, you know, you